Recording is running, just all bonum. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen to the third round of JL6 Season 18A. We're in Nusantara in Indonesia, which I believe is a real place, but the circuit is definitely fictional. Made by Lil One. I think it's his first track that actually made it onto the calendar. We just raced AL. AL was very much dominated by MW44, or Mitchell as he's known as well. But we'll see if someone actually can challenge him now. JL, of course, having like a few more very good drivers. Like we expect Bishone to be up there. Albono will most likely be somewhere near the top as well, if his CCs and mocks were anything to go by. We have some returning players, I see. Like BK, of course, having had a year break. I think he was just saying before this. Returning to the game, he just drove AL. Got a nice 6th place in there as well. Some other players that we have seen before this season already. But here we go, like, of course, Mitchell straight to the top. Axis also with a very good time. He was telling me that he was struggling to get under the 38.5s earlier today. But doing a 38.5 in his first time of asking, that's a very good lap of him. Isiona, of course, Albono that we were expecting up there as well. Jetix there. Pete also having a good one this time. Lexus was also a contender for the win if it wasn't for Mitchell dominating everyone. Surprising to see him down in 7th, but maybe it was just a bad first lap, we can see. As we join, Mitchell again, 38.0, what a lap. What a lap. Bishona also coming in strong with 38.0. I would be surprised if that gets beaten. Let's just go along with him on his lap, as I think he has made some mistakes, so this is not beating it, but maybe Bishona can still do something. He has a nice line through there. You need to do the little cut to gain a bit of time, slowing yourself down to be able to take the hairpin nicer. Takes this one nice, bit wide on this one, but didn't lose any speed at least. And he makes a slight cut as well, so that is unfortunate. Axis still up there. I think he's secured his 3rd place here, unless someone further behind is coming in. But no, it will be Mitchell in P1. Bishone stays there, Axis as well. Majumdar, who just in the 2nd lap already jumped to 4th, I think. With Lexus getting a nice last lap in to get himself up to P5. Albono sticks it into P6. That is a good lap from him as well. Then we do some quick screenshots for the people in the chat and for myself for when I make the standings after this. And that's... Alright, so let's go down. Like from Albono, we have Ricky Boy in P7. A good start again from him. Jetix P8, Pito returning for his 2nd race, I believe, in JL, coming in 9th. Siskin running out the top 10 with both Solarises in there. Kata in the Go Sport, the beautiful Renault Go Sport. BK on his return into P12. Sunday Driver taking P13 here. Dresser with P14, and then we have Krunk, Methagil, Seblin, and Gilpret rounding out. With Gilpret not particularly enjoying this track, it seems. A bit further down than the rest, but maybe he can do something in the race. But yeah, Mitchell 38.00. Incredible lap. I'm expecting he will have a good time in the race as well. So let me tell the drivers to get ready. Good luck, good luck. And let's get this going. So what are we going to see for strategies? We have some interesting strategies on this 21 lap race. We see some at the front starting on soft, some switches last minute as we start going. And it's hard for the top 2 with Axis on softs behind. Maybe he can do something here. Aggressive into the 2nd braking zone, and no. Majumdar also close. Oh, Axis gets shoved off a little bit by Albono there. Albono going for the lead now. Albono trying a move on Oh, and he hits the grass inside. It is a tough corner, but be shown back into the top 2 positions here with Ricky Boy suddenly coming from P7 straight to P3. Great start from him, but he is of course on the softs as he gets run off. Keta, I think she started P12 into P2 on lap 1 on hards. What a lap. Oh, as Ricky Boy gets shoved. Bit lag rock between him and Majumdar. With Mitchell already gone, but a big fight still behind. Bishona trying to hold off the big pack following him. Albono, the nearest contender here, As we see Kata, Axis still in it, even though he had like a bit of a shove at the start there when he gets a little bit of grass there, but still a lot of fighting going on. Further back, there's any big changes? I don't think so, as Sunday Driver edges off BK a little bit there. Dress are pulling through after Krunk and Jetix go off together. But at the front, it's still Bishone. Some groups are starting to form now, as Bishone, Albono, and Keta are now forming a small group, but with a lot of fighting, not helping each other, getting away from the pack. Ricky Boy and Siskin still behind. Can we see them work together? As last week in Igora, that was definitely not the case, and it doesn't seem like any team orders are going on there still. Ricky Boy going for the move on his teammate again. On the outside, is he being left space? No, he is not. So, what are we seeing? Mitchell, 2.5 seconds gone in only 3 laps so far. Albono trying to catch, but making a mistake again with Kata. Bishone must have made a mistake or has been forced off maybe. Siskin and Ricky Boy still catching, as they seem to have started working together maybe. Maybe some team orders coming in from the big men, Juan and Phantomy. As they must be getting close to the slipstream now, but not quite there. I think Mitchell must have made him, like, that must be a mistake, or he's lagging, or something has gone wrong, as he's suddenly caught by Albono by nearly 1.5 seconds. Let's see what he's doing here. Not much going on for him, with Albono trying to hold off Kata, who does not want to sit behind and goes for a move. Bishone, like, smelling the outside a little bit there, but nothing much doing there, as he crashed into Kata. Ricky Boys with Majumdar and BK. BK also suddenly climbing a lot of positions as he kind of pushes Ricky and everyone else a bit into the grass as he goes off himself in the next corner. Shown from his countryman Siskin in the next corner as Axis finds himself on the outside. Albono, was catching a lot, but I think Mitchell has found his pace again and might be gone again for the rest of the race. Talking about strategies, I think we're gonna see Bishone and Mitchell and all the other hard runners probably doing a one-stop here. Hard's predicted to go 11 laps for most people, and I think JL will be doing that as well. So it is very much possible to do Hearts 11, Hearts 10. The other strategies that are possible here, I think, are maybe what Albono is doing. Could be like a medium soft, or maybe he's even considering a medium. Mediums can do 9 laps, but seem to be very fast if you take them 7. Same with the softs, of course. Softs having a maximum tire life of 7 as well. So we'll have to see, as we see some people pitting in the back here. It's just Ricky and Siskin, BK as well. And Axe is also pitted as he gets unlucky again. Every time we put the camera on him, he gets shoved off a little bit. So let me just refrain from doing as we have a big lag rocket with Pito holding up Ricky Boy and Siskin, who just pitted. Not great for their strategy, as I think they're trying to do the undercut, like the soft 6, medium 9, soft 6. As we see now at the front, Albono pitting with Majumdar as well, as he was of course the only medium runner up front. Well, he has a lot of work to do. He has to gain a whole pit stop against the other players, which will be tough. I think the pit loss is around 7 seconds on this track, so he has a lot to gain. But it may work with Kata and Bishone fighting actually, so that will slow them down a lot, giving Albono a good chance to get back into it. Kata not really making any moves yet, but spending a lot of time alongside Bishone, which is not great of course for their pace. Lexus is still up there, but not making any huge inroads, as he is driving the same lap times as them fighting, which is not gonna help him catch them. It's Albono, let's see if he can make anything work here. Like, he is of course gonna catch Lexus very soon, but what is the gap to Bishone from there? 4 seconds. So that is a pretty big gap that he still has to deal with in the remainder of this race. Up front, it's still Mitchell, unsurprisingly, 5 seconds into the lead. Still in the 39s compared to the others that are in the high 40s, mid 40s. So only extending his lead. Lex is about to be caught here by Albono. Albono, of course, on the fresh mediums, so probably gonna make light work of this. If Lexus lets him through, straight up going for it, or no, he's waiting, he's patient. He takes the wide line and uses this good exit to, Lexus lets him pass, so that is very nice of him. He knows that this is not his fight. He knows that he is better off slipping, probably. Ricky Boy has made up his places again and is again ahead of Machumdar and BK. They have all pitted are slightly different strategies, I think. Machumdar having the freshest tires out of all of them. But nothing much changing as Mitchell has pitted and just got out right in front of Albono. I don't think Albono will be fighting this too much as he knows that he still has to pit again. And Mitchell is just the fastest guy on track today, I think. So Albono has a commanding second place now as Bicione and Kata have also pitted and came out about 3 seconds, if not more, behind him. Albono still, of course, having to extend his lead because he's not done yet. He's still probably lap 14, will pit again. As Lexus is in as well. He did his hard 11 stint first, it looks like, and goes for a hard 10 now to the end. Comes back out in 8th position, where we also find Axis, our 4th place sitter on the grid. Not really having the race pace, it seems like. Struggling with the fighting as Siskin is catching him at the moment, going for a dive. And he goes a bit wide but stays ahead. But any other fights are probably more around this area, as we see Ricky Boy with Kata. Kata, of course, on a very different strategy to Ricky, as she's doing only a one-stop. But is Ricky gonna know that? Probably not, as we see Gilbert DNF, probably laggy and also quite far behind, so probably not enjoying it too much. Kata and Majumdar fighting, the teammates not giving each other any room. But it is Majumdar going for a move on Ricky, sending him a little bit wide. Everything alright so far, but let's have a look at what Albono is doing. Still within touching distance of Mitchell, but I don't see him catching that with another pit stop. Bicione though, keeping him honest, with Ricky Boy quite far behind, of course. So I think if Albono pits again, he would probably come out in a gap just ahead of Majumdar. Hopefully not giving him the slipstream, but Majumdar also have to pit again, I imagine. So we see Bicione now catching up to Albono. I don't think Albono is going to fight this much, knowing that his tires are going off. But here, Majumdar, Kata and Lexus in a 3-way fight, not being able to decide who goes ahead of who, losing each other a lot of time. But hopefully having a lot of fun. So we see Albono in the pit, and is he going to come out ahead? That is the big question right now. I think he is. Oh, not really. Kata goes wide. That helps Albono a lot. We see Albono back into the lead of this group. Oh, server lag, I think. I look at the minimap and I don't see anyone affected, so that's good. Kata goes in wide, Lexus goes in wide in the other corner, and that is Albono gone, and most likely gone for another podium, which I believe is his 3rd podium in a row in jail. He's been having a very good season, but the 2 ahead are both ahead of him in the standings as well. Bicione currently leading it, but with this race I imagine it is Mitchell who might take it again. It will be very close at least. Looking at the teams, I think, well, Cancer must be doing good because I see Jetix up in P8 as well. So Cancer must be getting a lot of points again. Carpathian's Peak, very good of course again, with Bicione and Lexus 2nd and 5th. Solar is doing well, of course. Ricky Boy, and well, actually, where did his teammate go? Siskin all the way down in 13th. He has done his 2nd pit stop, but so have a lot of other people ahead of him, so I'm not sure what has happened to him. Not a great race from him so far. Access also making a mistake. Like, we should have all pit stops on right now as we're already on lap 17. Bishona 3 seconds behind Mitchell. Mitchell seems to be cruising back home. Bishona still behind him as well. Albano with a huge 6-second gap to catch in the last 4 laps. Unless both of these drivers in front of him make huge mistakes, I don't see any of that happening, as it seems to be actually an 8-second gap with some difficult leaderboards that are being screwed up a little bit when you drive around this track. Could Kata still do something maybe? Kata and Lexus still close behind, but of course on the hards, I think Kata will be on 11 hard when she gets to the last lap, with Lexus on 10 of course, so maybe that might make a small difference still for Lexus, who is now back into the slipstream. Trying to catch for his 4th place, trying to help his team remain in the lead of the Constructors' Championship, which would, I'm sure, be a big help if he manages to do it. But not yet. Still has to be patient and loses a bit of ground here to Kata. Kata, of course, with high ping, difficult to overtake, also because she is a new driver, which might not know too much about the ping yet. As Lexus, could he be pushed off there because of the ping? I think it was his own mistake, but let's go back a bit more. Axis now moving up with all the others pitting, I guess. BK, very good return from him as well. P7 now. I am not sure how good he was back in the day, but being P7 in your first race back with what I think is not a lot of practice is very impressive, of course. Axis and Majumdar still side by side here. Majumdar was fighting for P5, but I think his strategy has not really worked for him, looking like the hard strategy is working better, as we see P1 to P5, with the exception of Albon, of course, doing that strategy. Majumdar, of course, very fast driver, won last time out, but not enjoying this track as much, it seems. Axis still close behind him, but Axis, of course, on the softs, which are on the same wear as are the tires of Majumdar. We're going into what is the last lap already, with Mitchell still ahead. Bishona keeping him honest, but not making any impressions that will be scaring Mitchell into mistakes, I imagine. Mitchell keeping a solid 2-second lead to Bishona, who are both clearly the fastest drivers here today. And Mitchell will come back after a 4th place in Igora, and he will take another win, 2nd win of the season for him. Great job again. Bishona, very respectable P2 there. Albano coming home in 3rd place, the only one to kind of make the 2-stopper work right here, with Kata, which I believe her 2nd showing, getting a P4. Very, very good results. Lexus P5, of course. Ricky Boy coming into P6 here. BK with the return of P7. Majumdar P8. And we have Axis P9. Jetix following him up with P10. And Krunk very close in P11. Siskin, unfortunate last stint in P12 with Sunday Driver behind him. Peter slowing down and just about giving Methagil the P14, with him taking P15, Tracer coming home in P16, and our last finisher, Seblin, in P17. So yeah, that was it. Sorry if anyone wants to interview, but I am very lazy, so I'm going to call it here. Great race from everyone, and I'll see you next week.